What is up, everybody? Cashflow and Coffee, episode 23. We're going live on Instagram as well, ladies and gentlemen. I completely forgot to set up my thing this week because I brought my camera equipment because I was recording some reels in the mountains of Colorado, and it's in my backpack, and I forgot to set it up for this. So,
good morning, Luke.
Here we are. Good morning, Luke. Oh, nice. I thought you were just saying that. I thought you were like, we know Luke is one of the two.
No,
Good morning, Luke. How you doing? Luke's always on here. Luke's the man. So, it was a cool week last week, guys. We did the challenge. I want to officially announce, because technically on the challenge it didn't. The deal that looked like I was getting locked up, the sellers agreed, all that. We officially have a contract. I'll be giving you guys updates. So within a week, we're going to make we're predicting $37,500. So
wow, that's
1 week of doing acquisitions, guys. $37,500. The only difference between you and me are twofold. One is you don't believe in there's three things. One is you don't believe in yourself enough, guys. You don't have the faith and the evidence that you can do this in the same way that I can, because I have all the evidence of being able to close deals, right? So you need to change that. You need to be making more and more calls so you get the evidence that you can become a closer. Two is you don't have the system that I do. Probably. So, guys, I'm going to put it in the chat because I always do. We give out our system. We let you guys use all of our templates, all of our flows that I've been using. And it's right there. So you can sign up still available. It's exactly how I closed that deal. I showed it all over the challenge over and over again. It's just those two things. That's really it, is the faith in yourself and that. Yeah, I might be a better closer than you, but that was 1 week. You could do it in a month. Do you think I'm 4 times better than a closer than you? Better of a closer than whoever's watching? Probably not. It might be double, maybe triple, but quadruple? I don't know. Unless you really suck. But with the system and that, there's no way you guys aren't closing deals, guys. Also, we should do way more challenge, Tyler. I looked at I didn't understand this. I don't know if this was from the challenge. I got 200 YouTube subscribers randomly. I'm not sure what that was from.
You also have 500 people on our email list, which is crazy.
It's pretty nuts. Is that how many were from the challenge? Do you know?
I would have to. No, I don't know.
Melissa said 300.
That sounds about right.
We were at 200 beforehand.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, anyway. We should definitely do that more.
Yeah, because I the email list. I mean, we should be able to compare it to the numbers that we had before. We should be able to convert about 1% of that email list. So that's 5 people.
And people love it. People get so much value out of these challenges.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anywho, guys, if you're on Instagram, come on to YouTube. Fuck. I forgot to put that in here. In fact, we're going to restart Instagram because I want to restart Instagram. Because I forgot to say that at the beginning. But yeah. So we might be. I'm gonna do way more challengers. I see why Pace and Jamila do it. That's where shit sells. You also added how many Simple Send subscribers did we add that week? 6 at least.
I think we got a few, 4 maybe.
Yeah. That's about 0.5% of the people that showed up and 1% of the average of the people that showed up. It was averaging 40.
Yeah.
If you want your questions answered. Yeah. So anywho, 200 YouTube subscribers, a bunch of Simple Send subscribers. If there's 4, that's $1,200 into that bank account. Plus monthly recurring.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot of emails. So anywho, we got to start the newsletter though. Right?
Yeah, where are you at on that, buddy? That's your homework.
I got a lot of shit on my plate, dude. I have to shut down Safe Routes now that my big boy deal closed. I have to work on getting the final bookkeeping for Safe Routes done, right? Then there's a bunch of shit I have to do for the meetups. I have to, I'm doing tons of different meetups in Denver, guys. I can't announce there's something big in the works meetups wise in California.
Ooh.
California, there's going to be a big thing. Tyler, you should come. You're going to come to one of these meetups, no matter where you are. I don't know if you'll be in NorCal when I'm doing it. You might be because it's going to be during the holidays. But it's going to be wild. I'm going to be doing a lot in California very soon that I haven't even told you about.
Hey guys, this is news for me too.
Yeah, I don't tell people this because it's actually a surprise. So I'm not supposed to tell anyone this actually. But I'm gonna edge you guys a little bit on these meetups right now. So 3, and I'm just rambling because none of you are asking questions, by the way, guys. So put some questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna talk about my life for a while. I need to set up my own savings account. I decided this the other day that I just want 100K in a savings account. It's not a good investment, but I thought about it. I'm like, it's not an investment. I'm purchasing an insurance policy. That's what I realized. It's like if I have 100K in the bank, always just in a savings account, then I always feel good that no matter what happens, there's always that 100K, no matter what. Even if it's not like great, even if I'm only getting 5% of my money, it's better that it's beating inflation, and also like I have that always, no matter what. So this was like a realization for me. It lets me do more risky shit. I think you should have something like that too, because I want you to get a little bit riskier. We've talked about this.
I
My
do.
risk
It's I mean, I don't have that much in a savings account right now, but it's my life insurance policy. That's my savings account basically.
what I mean, like, yeah, like I'm not a what was I about to say?
A life insurance
Good
guru.
job. Good job. Whatever to make you comfortable, where we can start absolutely going crazy. Because one of my goals, I'll tell you this publicly too. One of my goals is to show you how much money I make if I go back as an acquisition manager, so that we can take more risks. So that like if ever the bank account is low, you remember, Tyler, like Jonah goes back in with the system, we're making at least this much money. That's one of my goals too. I want to give you safety nets so that then you feel comfortable taking risks and stuff. Jonah, you did the challenge, so no more questions. Nobody has any questions. I mean, I had an really interesting question today that I'm going to just do old questions then, or not old ones, but people that sent them in. There was a really interesting question today. Somebody sent me on Instagram that I really liked.
I saw what you put in there in that channel. Yeah, I was like confused, but not confused, but like
no, your intuition. I understand why you would be confused. So your intuition is right. How would you convince someone it's easier to scale a wholesaling business than a construction business? So talk about your confusion, because I know where it's coming from.
It's more like, I mean, it's like obviously a wholesaling business. But like why? I don't know. Like why? Just why? Why are you wanting to know that?
Let me give you some. So here's what I said to the guy, because this was the original question. And then here's what I said to the guy. I was like, first off, who the fuck are you convincing? Why do you need to convince anyone if you are already convinced it's easier? And then he's like, well, my wife is convinced that it'd be easier to scale a construction company, yada, yada. And then I literally said this, and I don't know if it's good advice. I think it's bad advice, probably. I don't have a wife. But this is what I said to him, and I don't know if it's good or bad. I said, is this your business or your wife's business? Or is it both? And if it's both, then does your wife actually know business at all? Right? Because if she doesn't know business, she's not going to make a good business partner. She's obviously a great life partner, but you don't have to be business partners with your significant other. In fact, I think it's I don't think it's a great idea. I mean, it depends on you. There are some great couples who are amazing business partners.
I think it highly depends on the type of relationship. It highly
depends. Yeah. Exactly. It depends on the relationship. So this guy, I just told him, it's like, dude, if you know it, and unless like your wife is bringing something really valuable to the table, just do the wholesaling business. Like, you don't need your wife's permission. How much money are you spending on the wholesaling business? Right? Maybe you do. I don't know how. Why? I mean, maybe with husbands and wives, you need permission for fucking everything you do ever. I don't have a wife, right? If it was a girlfriend, I'd be like, no, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I feel like, right? I mean, I think a wife is a more serious thing.
Also, the other question is like, do you even know anything about construction? And like, why would you even want to start a construction business?
His wife is just convinced that it's easier.
That's it?
That's it. And I just think I'm just like, dude, if you know the truth, then just make a fuck ton of money wholesaling and just do it. Like, you don't need to just show them that it's easier, right?
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, is this both of your businesses? And if so, first off, why even partner? I think it's rare. I think it's not rare necessarily, but I think most of the time the business partners aren't going to be your significant other. It can be, but I think most of the time it's not going to be. You're going to have, first off, you're going to have opposite personalities-ish. Not opposite personalities, but opposite strengths, right? You're going to have completely opposite business strengths. That's always what you have to be for a partnership to work as it is. Guys, if you're asking questions on Instagram, I'm not going to answer. You have to come onto YouTube and ask them. Just throwing that out there. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's smart unless you have opposite business strengths. If you don't have opposite business strengths, it's not going to work out. Sometimes you do have opposite business strengths. Sometimes you don't, right?
Yeah. Also, if you're like already a contractor, let's just say, for example, and you're like, I already know the ins and outs of a construction company. Like, I've worked in one my whole life, and I want to start a business around it, and I know absolutely nothing about wholesaling. Then it might be easier just to do the construction company. But if you just know nothing about either, or a little bit about both, and you're wondering which is easier, wholesaling all the way.
Yeah. Wholesaling is, I can't believe it's a business. It's ridiculous. Yeah. As like a $1 million to $10 million business, I feel like it's the easiest to get to between the $1 million and $10 million business. I think getting it past $10 million, I see people start having issues with like being able to make it more profitable than that. I only know really a couple companies that do it. Keegley, New Western. There's not many. There's
soon to be a Setla.
Soon to be a Setla. But the point is that most businesses have trouble getting to $1 million, but once they get to $1 million, they start getting to 10 million, 100 million. Like it's easier to scale. I think it's kind of hard with the nature. I think it's kind of hard with the nature of wholesaling to get it to 100 million. I think that's very rare, right? But in terms of getting it where you're rich and you're having an amazing lifestyle, it's the easiest business ever. I don't understand why everyone doesn't do it. It's kind of crazy to me, right? I'm like debating my entire life thing. I'm like, part of me kind of just, I might not even buy that much real estate other than apartment complexes when we get into that. I was thinking about this the other day. I might just start a lending business. I keep hearing about how
I want to do that too.
I keep hearing that it's just like so fucking easy, like work-wise. Like I keep seeing reels where it's like, yeah, like I have like 4 businesses. They all bring me like millions of dollars, but my lending business brings me millions and it's no work at all. I underwrite the deal, I give the money, and then I get money, and that's it. Super simple. Where I'm just kind of like, you know what? I don't have to follow Pace. Pace doesn't like lending. He just wants to own a fuck ton of real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's way more work. And part of me is just like, maybe I should just wholesale and then lend out my own money, maybe lend out other people's money. I might just use other people's money whenever I need real estate, but I get so much money from wholesaling, I could just lend that out. I don't know. I don't know what's the right way to do it.
There is no right way. You just do what the fuck. There's so many. You tell people all the time. There's so many ways to make money. It's just like whatever you feel like you want to do. Whatever you like. You can make money in so many different ways in real estate. Whether it's
just interesting. I've been like thinking about my path of that. Of like, should I just lend out my money? Like I could just lend out my money almost. Like I think $100K for the for the insurance, which I've already hit. I already have that thanks to that one big boy deal. It's like immediately I just got $100K to me, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna put that in a savings account. So they only had the emergency fund, no matter what happens. Wholesaling keeps paying me money. I donate some money. I'm creating a parent account so that I can eventually just start giving money to my parents every single month. And then there's fuck around money. And then what else? Maybe create like a lending fund. I don't know. Why not? You know? And then just like start a lending business. I can underwrite deals. I don't mind. I'll lend my money out for 5 years. I'm going to charge more interest if it's 5 years. I'm not going to give you guys fuckers 10%. I want fucking 15% if I'm lending it out for 5 years. But you know, 15%, like if I lent out 50K at 15%, let's just say 12%, let's say, right? Times 0.12. That's $500 a month for 5 years. Do that
1,000
6 times.
times.
Just do it 6 times. 1,000 times. Get out of here. Do it 6 times. And then I've got a job's worth for doing nothing, like 300K. I can get 300K. Easy. Right? Easy, dude. So it's just like, why not just lend out all my money, create passive cash flow that way, and don't do any work, right? Because that's the only, lending is the only true passive cash flow, guys. Owning real estate is never not passive at all. You guys are idiots if you think owning real estate is passive. The only thing that's passive in business is lending out money. That's it, right? Except for when they default.
Unless you have a management company, right?
No.
Not your management company, but like somebody else's.
No, but you have to manage the management company. So like what happens is, I mean, the property management company is doing good. If they're really good, then no. But there will eventually be a time where the tenant leaves, and then you have to manage the fucking tenant, right? So, or you have to it depends on how good the management company is, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We have some questions in the
chat. And then you have to get a good enough deal where it works as a long-term rental, because management companies only do long-term rentals, or most of them do. So you have to do long-term rental. Then you have to pay them. It has to cash flow enough for them to pay the fee and deal with all the maintenance. You have to have an insanely good deal for that to work, right? We were about to have that deal in Denver. I'm sad about that deal in Denver. Yeah, I keep telling Maj, I'm like, dude, like, I know it sucks you didn't get your assignment fee. I'm pissed I didn't get the house, right? I wanted that fucking house. That was a really good house. Yeah. But whatever. There'll be more houses, right? I'm having trouble finding anything that positively cash flows, like at all, as a long-term rental, right? Guys, I need more houses, by the way.
Send us deals.
Yeah, please. Like, I actually want to buy more creative deals. I really want to get one before December. I'm losing hope that I can find one and close on it before the end of December. I've got like maybe 5 days to buy a house. I would love the Midwest. I'm huge on the Midwest. I really like the Midwest more than other places because it's just more likely to cash flow. And I just rather have something that cash flows $300 a month that I don't have to do anything. Luke said, you keep saying that. I haven't seen shit. Sorry. I love you, Luke. I need you to do it. Do it for me. I just want to be a buyer. I just realized I'm like, wow, I just want less headaches in my life. Like,
you just go through a whole like brain transformation over the weekend.
No, I mean, I had this in my head the entire time. It didn't click how to do that right.
Yeah.
Just something I've been thinking about because, like, you know, I mean, we're starting to get a fuck ton of money from the wholesaling. What am I going to do with it? Right? You and I could start buying deals if we went out of California. I don't want to own rentals in California, but we're making so much wholesale money in California. I don't want to leave California. In the end, the wholesaling business is a wholesaling business. I'd rather the wholesaling business be more profitable. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just lend out my money. Eventually, when we open up in Colorado or something, there will be creative deals that come through. But until then, it's just like, I'm not going to wait on it, right? So I don't know. These are my thoughts. All right, we have a fuck ton of questions now because I did my thing. We have 19 people on here. Hot damn, guys. Look at that. The 11 people on Instagram. What are you doing? Hop onto my YouTube, Jonah Corchin, just my name. Look it up. We're going live. That's where you can hear my business partner and not just me. I don't know why you guys are in here. But anyways, so what is your take on direct to agent versus seller in NorCal as a new wholesaler? You want to answer that real quick while I switch my audio?
Sure. Direct to agent is definitely the best in everywhere, probably. Direct to seller in NorCal is definitely gonna get expensive. So like I know people who are doing direct to seller in NorCal and they're spending like 40, 50K a month, to make, 80, 90K a month, maybe. Now, I'm not going to say those are going to be your numbers, but marketing costs are going to be insane. So I would do direct to agent because direct to agent contacts is free. You just go to Google, go to realtor.com, you scrape some agent numbers, which is completely free, and then you reach out to them on Simple Send. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that. And it's very relationship based, so you can make some friends.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
So Tyler is biased, right? And so am I, because we make so much fucking money from direct to agent, right? The true answer is I actually did create I did do a decent amount of direct to seller deals before I did direct to agent. I made 180K doing direct to seller. Yeah, 180K doing direct to seller in Northern California, right? And I didn't spend that much money. I was just cold calling the entire time, right? It depends on what you like in the end, right? I think direct to agent is just easier. I think it's way easier. I think it's easier to scale. I don't know any company that does 10 million, 12 million in revenue that isn't either running PPC at the highest level or is a JV / direct to agent company. Those are the only two ways in the end, right? If you're doing direct to seller, only cold calling, texting, you'll never get to 10 to 12 million. You never get to $1 million a month. If you're doing direct to agent and JV, it's possible to do 10 to 12 million a month. Or you have to be doing PPC. All roads lead to PPC. Brent Daniels talks about it. Sam Singh talks about it. Everyone talks about it. Like how for you to actually become profitable, you have to do that. PPC in the Bay Area is insanely expensive. I have no idea how much it is, but I guarantee you it's triple whatever it is in Phoenix because the deals are so big, right? It's more anxiety producing. It is more doing direct to seller is just harder all overall, just in almost every way. You have to have so much of your shit more dialed in. And
if you're broke, don't do direct to seller.
honestly, most people should do direct to agent. The only negative, in my opinion, really of direct to agent is it's a little bit harder to do creative deals. But creative deals are for owning real estate. Do you want to own real estate in Northern California? I wouldn't. I don't know why you would. I'm liberal, but I don't like their landlord laws are fucking insane. There's like a point where it's just stupid. You need to be able to evict the person eventually, right? Like I don't know, like you're such a bleeding heart liberal that like you never get to evict the person. They just own your house now. Like what are you talking about, right? So and you can't build anything. It's just like the laws there are just not in your favor. So why would you go there, right? If you as for wholesaling and flipping, it's the best state ever, by the way. Worst landlord state, best wholesaling and flipping state.
Where
work,
else are you making 100K wholesale fees?
Barely anywhere else.
Yeah.
Almost never else.
Maybe LA, maybe New York, but good luck doing deals in New York.
Dude, nobody does it in New York. I don't know a single wholesaler in New York. New York City is just another animal that just doesn't exist. Only California has cookie cutter houses that are single family in cookie cutter neighborhoods that are worth millions of dollars. New York City, it's like weird apartments that are all different. Yeah, and like you have to know that market perfectly.
True.
There's nowhere like San Jose.
Yeah, guys, honestly, like when I've looked in other markets, I've never been more confused in my life. California is so easy to understand the housing. There's nothing like you don't have to worry about sinkholes. You don't have to worry about wood frames, block homes, whatever they're called in Florida. Like all this shit that you got to worry about in these other states. You don't got to worry about hurricanes or freaking windstorms.
We got to worry about earthquakes.
Yeah, but who?
That's why our foundation issues are more expensive. I think that's part of it. You have to do more to the foundation.
Yeah, but that's easy to like. Foundation issues is everywhere, so that's at least the even playing field one.
Yeah, Denver's pretty easy too. The only extra thing about Denver or Colorado is basements. They have so many basements that you have to figure out, but like that's not hard to figure out. That was like the only main difference.
Yeah.
Anywho, that should answer your question. There's a lot of questions in here now. How do you handle the negotiation of taxes and other things you offer the agents to do for their clients? How do you handle the negotiation of other things you offer the agents to do for their clients? You're talking about tax liens, I think, because we don't do their taxes for them. I think you mean tax liens. Usually for tax liens, honestly, I say that a lot in the challenges. I've never needed to negotiate a tax lien. Ever. I've never done it before. The only time you would need to do that is if like there's no equity. That's the only way the government will be even willing to negotiate with you, is when the government's like, oh, this person's we're not getting our money. It's not happening. So let's just take an L on it. Because the government doesn't care, right? The government, it doesn't make most of its money from tax liens. Right? So how do you handle it? Agent, there are so many different scenarios. Bring me a deal. DM me your deal and your situation, and then I will solve it for you and buy the house. How about that? Instead of general questions, just bring me the deal, do the work, and let's see what happens. How long is an acceptable amount of time to see traction at the beginning of the real estate investment journey? I'm still skill building, being in sub 2 door 3 weeks as of now. I'll tell you this much. 3 weeks is absolutely nothing.
When did you get your first deal?
Is, are you asking me?
Mm-hmm.
4 months, right? It completely depends on the person. The real question is, Terrence, how long are you willing to stay in it? Are you willing to stay in it a year to get your first deal? Or are you going to back out after 2 months? All that matters is what's your dedication level to this? I would have done this for the next 5 years to make this business successful. I'm that type of guy. I knew it would take way less time than that, and there would be an issue if it took that long to get a deal. But how long are you willing to stay in the trenches is the better question. Instead of asking how long does it take me to get my first deal, why don't you say how long are you willing to successfully to change your family's financial future for eternity? How long are you willing to stay in the trenches for that?
However long is needed, Terrence says.
Good. Then why are you even asking me that question? You know? That's the honest truth. Not that like I'm mad at you or anything. I'm just letting you know there's no point in even caring if that's the truth. Right? Richard, you've been trying for 4 years. I almost want to talk to Richard for a second. We only have 15 minutes. Richard, you've been calling agents or sellers for 4 years straight every single day. I would love to see your KPIs because, to be honest, I don't believe you're consistently doing it for 4 years. I think you've been learning about it for 4 years. There's absolutely no way you've been taking consistent action where you've been talking to people, 15 to 30 people every single day for 4 years, and you didn't get a deal. That's impossible. That's actually not possible. I would have to look at your KPIs.
Get a deal.
You would accidentally get a deal within 6 months. I don't believe that you've been doing it every day for 4 years. I'd have to audit you. There's actually no way, right?
100%.
I believe you've been learning about it for 4 years. I believe that. Happy Monday, and thank you so much for doing this. Have you had any sex with corporate and/or hedge fund buyers in the Sacramento market? There aren't many hedge funds that like California. It's a weird market, right?
No. Yeah, no.
Hold on. Exactly. You need to be talking to 30 people a day. If you talk to 5 people a week, that's 0 deals. You talk to 10 people a day, that's maybe 1 in 6 months. If you talk to 20 a day, that's 1 a month. Talk to 30 a day, that's 1 a week. So you're just that's the issue. I do 6 times I have 3 people doing 6 times your volume per day that you do per week. I'm going to crush you. You talk to 5 people a week? Richard, I don't know you, but are you actually like, and I mean this, I hope you don't consider this like as an asshole thing, but are you even trying? Right? Like, why are you talking to only 5 a week? You need 30 a day. 30 a day, and then watch. In terms of this question, Sacramento, I don't know. I mean, Tyler, do we like hedge funds don't like California? There's a couple. There's one hedge fund that we know, Wedgwood, that's not really a hedge fund. They're just like a buyer that
They're just
buys
a
deep.
big buyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I'm gonna
There's
be honest. I've
Sunday,
never
but they're kind
really.
of not really.
They're not really hedge fund. Those
Yeah.
are just big iBuyers, I guess. But
Yeah.
they're not. Yeah. Anyways, there's like a few companies, right? Like a couple of the ones that Jonah just mentioned, but they're not like true hedge funds necessarily. They're just big companies. Other than that, like not really. Like I've never done a deal with it. I've never even talked to a hedge fund, to be honest.
They aren't in California, but like, oh well. Honestly, hedge funds, I hate that dispo model. If your main thing is hedge funds, you're gonna get sideswiped if they turn that faucet off. I have a friend who 2 years ago or 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, they're a big person in sub 2. They had their whole business model was selling to hedge funds, getting it at like 80% of ARV and then selling it to a hedge fund. Hedge funds turned off once the interest rates went up. They had 300K in escrow that got canceled.
Wow.
Yeah. They just lost all their profit immediately. That's a dangerous business model. I don't like hedge funds. I'd rather just not get as many deals. That has to be an add-on, right? It has to be an add-on.
Yeah.
Is the best way to grow your JV side of wholesaling is to grow your online presence? Yes.
That's like the only
true
way.
answer. That's not the only way, but it's the best way by far.
Yeah.
I am the micro flipping acquisitions for our company.
Pretty much.
I'm the lead gen, basically.
You can do like the Astra flipping method of just wholesaler outreach on Facebook, which will get you a few deals a month, definitely like easily. But but in order to really scale that, you have to
just scale social media.
Yeah.
You have to become a guru-esque person or an influencer, whatever you call it.
Or you could do
I don't follow anything, but
you could do Curtis Harvey's method where you just do wholesaler outreach, you get a few deals a month per market, and then you just do that in a bunch of different markets. And if you scale that nationwide, like that's a lot of deals.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm not saying, like there's, like I said, there are a ton of different methods. The best way, easily social media. Easily. Because social media grows everything. It's the lead gen for every single business we own. Simple send, wholesaling. It would easily grow my lending. It makes it where I get private money. It makes it where if I want, I can get employees from it. I can get everything from social media. Anything I need a lead from, that's social media.
Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. Let me show. How many offers do you make a week? We don't actually, funny enough, we don't make nearly as many offers as people say to make offers. You look at the KPIs.
You want me to get that
we probably, well, I mean, I know our goals. I know our targets. We probably make about 15 offers per person a week. So we make very few offers because we only offer on things where we're like, we're going to get this, right? We have a whole filtering process where we offer only on certain things that make sense to be offered on, right? So we don't give out nearly as many offers as other people. We're a much more sniperish business, a more precise business, which I like, right? I don't like some people, it's great. Like Carolyn and Myron, their business model is 1,000 offers a week, which is insane. And that's great. And they do probably as many deals as we do. It's just not our method. I don't like it as much. It's more systematic and it doesn't fit my goals for the company and like how we help sellers and stuff like that, right? It's just not my method. So yeah, Luke, you should quit. Richard, I was focused on FSBO off Zillow for most of the time. I just recently switched using Astro Blaster. amazing. You'll get a deal really soon. Astro Blaster, I've heard great things about, so you'll have a great time with it. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's 9:50. There aren't any more questions. So, yeah, I guess we can end this. I want to keep doing more challenges. I think that was fun, and I think that insanely helped everything. I need to think up some more challenges. And we got to start on the newsletter. The newsletter, I need to think about the newsletter. That really needs to start. We need to start converting. 51 newsletter. Will you guys who signed up for the challenge, you start getting a newsletter soon? Is everything mixed together? Is there one email list that's just the Jonah Corcoran email list, Tyler?
Mm-hmm. It's in your Jonah Corcoran account.
We should ask you at some point. Should go on. You should just say what's up to Jamil, just cause. You should go on the Astro call and ask him, like, do you merge email lists? Like, for instance, the Astro Blaster email list, the same email list that Jamil Damji has. I'm like curious about that. Curious if they mix the email lists or not, or if you have separate email lists. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I was planning on going there tomorrow.
Nice. What were you gonna ask about?
It was gonna be. I forgot what I have the question written down. It was gonna be what we last talked about. It was like, I don't fucking remember.
Okay, don't worry about it. If you don't remember it. Jonah and sales calls. You're not going to be able to. That's going to be like, I love you, Luke, but that would be too easy.
Do an objection challenge where we try to stump Jonah.
Like, what are you going to say? Is it too late to sign up for the challenge? Well, I already did it. So yeah, it's done. It is too late to sign up for the challenge. You can sign up on my Instagram with the link, and then you'll get into the email list.
It's also in the description below.
Is it? For this live? You put it in the live?
Melissa does.
You told her to do that? I didn't tell her to do that.
No, she just does it.
Oh, well. Look in the description below. Sign up. You'll get newsletters for the next one. You'll get announcements for the next one. So sign up on the email list if you want. So there you go. Do we have just like a sign up on the email list one?
I think so. I think it's on your website.
I keep forgetting. Go to my website, Michael.
Newsletter. Yeah, go to
just go on there
and click on newsletter.
Okay, and then click on newsletter, right? And then you get on the email list and you'll see the next one. Have you had any success with forest fire property /lots? No, they're terrible. In California, there are so many fucking forest fires. If you have a property that could light up in flames, you're not getting insurance on that. It's just not happening.
Yeah, we had a deal that was just right outside of Napa, and it was we almost had to cancel it. We barely closed because this buyer was struggling so hard to get fire insurance.
Yeah, it's insane right now. I do BJJ. How about that, Jonah? You do BJJ? That's dope. I used to do BJJ. I need to get back into it, but I've been lazy.
What's that?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay. So, yeah. I think we're good here. I appreciate you guys. I don't really have any challenges coming up. There's going to be a meetup in Denver next month at some point. I'm not going to be there. California, I'm coming to you guys. So I'll see y'all there. I'm coming either the 22nd or the 23rd. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm going to stay there for a month. I'm going to have a good time because I don't want winter. I actually kind of like winter. I forget that I like winter here. Even if it's cold, like, it's not that bad, except for shoveling snow. That's really annoying. But that's because I was in the mountains this weekend. Usually I don't have to deal with that. But I am going to get out of winter. I'm going to go to sunny California. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, I'll just keep you guys posted on life. It was cool that we got a deal last week.
Come to LA, bro.
I might. We'll have to keep it a surprise though. So all right. Love you guys. Tyler, you got anything?
No, sir. That is it for me.
All right, we're out. Let's go.